Hello, and welcome to the Basketball Addicts podcast, where we answer the age-long question. The question that everybody wants the answer to is, how can you hate from outside of finals? We can't get in. You can't even get in. How can you hate? We're going to get to that very soon, but first, we must talk about a pressing matter. The Cam Reddish trade.
Yes.
One of the big trades that went down this week, along with the Bol trade being voided.
Yeah.
As well as what that means for the future of the NBA, as well as what is going on with the NBA and COVID. They have had a very weird relationship this year.
Yes.
And we'll also talk about the upcoming All-Star game and what our thoughts are on that. All right, Jay, let's lead it off with the Cam Reddish trade. Tell me what you think.
Well, personally, I think it's a travesty of, not understanding what you are as a team and how you can become an NBA champion. All right, so basically they have a roster down there full of young guys, all under the age of 25. Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter. They used to have Cam Reddish in this package. John Collins, Onyeka Ongaku, all super young. We couldn't have them all on the same team, so the obvious choice was to combine some of those players to create and receive an all-star level asset. You can get a lot for Cam Reddish, Kevin Huerter, and let's say Onyeka Ongaku in a first. Like you can get back some serious all-star level talent. So I feel like they missed by just trading for a first-round draft pick. I think they pushed down the problem farther down the road, and I don't think that first-round draft pick is going to be anything better than the value of Cam Reddish. And I think the New York Knicks fleeced the Atlanta Hawks. They won this trade. They got the small forward that is going to be their small forward of the future. And he fits the timeline of R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle. I love what the New York Knicks did, and I hate what the Atlanta Hawks did.
Yeah, so I completely agree with everything you said, because the Atlanta Hawks have literally, it's almost like they don't understand the talent they have on the roster and what they could package together, what they could have packaged together in order to get something back.
Yes.
Greater. Getting a first back, you mean like you really lost that trade.
Yes.
The Knicks for once have won something.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, after everything they've been through with Phil Jackson and everything, they're finally on the winning side of things, you know? After they got fleeced with the Kristaps Porzingis trade, you know what I mean? Got nothing back for that. Finally you are working something out.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're doing the fleecing. It's just one thing. It's just like we're going to, keep Atlanta in our prayers, you know what I mean, while they go through their psychiatric evaluation. Because it's clearly something not going on right up there. Because how do you do that? How do you go ahead and trade a future All-Star away for a first-round pick that may turn into absolutely nothing?
Yes.
You have no guarantee that's going to be a great pick.
Yeah.
No guarantee, and you've just given him up for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
And you know what else you have done? You have made New York now a more enticing candidate in free agency to one Zion Williamson.
Yeah. And I'm glad. Go ahead.
Yeah, because now you've paired R.J. Barrett with the former teammate, and now Zion's in New Orleans, drowning right now, looking at the Knicks like, I want to go have fun with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because the reality of the NBA now is, okay, everybody used to be, okay, we're going to build through the draft, right? But the reality of free agency is that you may not be able to keep those players for more than 5 years. Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden are all on a super team, on the team that none of them were drafted to. So I love the point you made, because long term, the Knicks really won that trade, because they can entice somebody who we may not think of in this moment. Long down the line, though, may join them and make them a contender, because they're one superstar away from being really tough. So I really like the fact that you brought that up. That's a really good point.
And who's going to pass on Zion Williamson? I mean, like, you're going to make that work because if RJ Barrett's like, he's going to develop in a couple of years. Cam Reddish going to develop in a couple of years. It'll be like the difference between NBA and the majority of the other sports in the world today is that the players have a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
They can force the hands of the GMs and of the owners to go out and get certain pieces that they would like to acquire.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish start showing that, hey, we're top level talent, now they can get the ear of the GM.
Yeah.
Now they can be like, wait, you go in the ear like, psst, psst, hey, Zion Williamson, bring him to New York. And they're like, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Then they pay him millions of dollars, bring him to New York, and then now New York is looking like a contender.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Yeah.
And Atlanta eats sour grapes.
Yes. And it might be this might be the start of the downfall of the Atlanta Hawks. We may go a few years from now like, man, you remember when they made it to the conference finals?
Yeah.
They might miss the playoffs this year, and it's because they can't guard anybody. You remember that one game Anthony Simons dropped like 44?
Didn't he drop like 50? He dropped 44 or 56.
Yeah, he dropped a lot of points. It was against the Atlanta Hawks. I watched that game. I think Trae Young dropped 56 that night.
Yeah.
And an example of how terrible the Atlanta Hawks defense is this year is they basically, I think they lost or almost lost to the Portland Trailblazers without CJ McCollum and Damien Lillard. That's why Anthony Simons had so many points, is because those other two were not playing. And it looked like they were like inept at guarding. It looked like they were like a 94 and up women's basketball league age-wise trying to guard an NBA team. Like, that's how terrible they looked on defense. It's ridiculous, Chris. It's egregious how bad they are on defense, and they got to really figure it out on that end.
Yeah, it's none of the teams in the NBA right now who are like suffering on defense, but especially to go so far and to have the ability to go far again, or at least to,
be respectful.
Everybody wants to see Knicks versus Atlanta, and now you fed them the piece they need to beat you. Like, what?
Yeah, that's a fact. Spoon-fed.
Yeah, it definitely spoon-fed them, and that's actually one other thing we have to get to now is Bol on the last podcast, it was live. We were like, hey, Bol has been traded from the Denver Nuggets to Detroit Pistons. But guess what, guys? If you have not been following the Woj report, the trade has been voided because Bol cannot pass the Detroit Pistons physicals.
I wonder what's wrong with him. It must be the reason why he dropped in the draft. That
because remember, he only played a couple games and he got hurt.
Yeah. So,
but in those couple games, he was showing like all-star level potential. You know what I mean? So like, that's probably why.
Hopefully, they figure out a way to get him healthy because he is a force on the court. 7'2" with guard skill, really special player.
What he probably needs to do, he probably just needs to rehab that injury completely. They might need to put like a Kawhi Leonard and just refuse to play.
Yeah, that might be a good choice long term for his career.
Yeah,
figure out whatever is ailing him, come back healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, are you? We have one other thing to cover.
Yeah,
it's the Damien Lillard. Core injury out 6 to 8 weeks, and some people are talking about the rest of the season. What do you think about Dame missing time?
I mean, Portland's not going anywhere anyway. And with Dame out, I mean, he hasn't been playing too great this season anyway. Like it's been it's been a cycle a little bit. So like he wasn't playing well. Portland isn't performing well. They're probably going to miss the playoffs this year. It's just I think that he shouldn't play the rest of the season. He should just get healthy.
Yeah. And
then go into free agency and try to pick the better team. And try to, go back and try to strive for a chip or for a win, maybe even a finals appearance or something like that. That's really what his focus should be. He should not be trying to play for Portland anymore, in my opinion. I think that he should just go ahead, take the rest of the season out, and just focus on getting better and going into free agency next year.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more that he should be going to a new team. He is a superstar that deserves to be playing in meaningful games in the playoffs. And as a fan, I feel like we just want to see that. And Damien Lillard is a guy who's reaching the point in time in his career where everything's either plateauing from here on out or regressing. He's not going to get any better as a player because he's around 30, low 30s. You know what I mean? He's in that time range. Even though it's a lot of money because I think he get paid $50 million a year, I would pass it over. And I would definitely go try to win a ring. Go. I mean, Dallas. I feel like Dallas would be a good destination for him.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. That might work a little better.
Yeah.
Who knows? No, that's not it. Yeah, so Dallas is actually something they were thinking that everybody was talking about. It was saying like maybe Dallas paired next to Luka, or maybe if he can get to Philadelphia and pair with Joel Embiid, we can see what that may become as well.
Yeah.
I would like to see either one of those. Luka is great. You know what I mean? He might be able to step into like maybe a bigger role, maybe step to like maybe a 4-ish or something like that. Let Dame take over the point guard position. That's a terrible tandem that you want to see. That's a scoring tandem. They both could drop 40 on you every night, pretty much.
Yes.
And then Joel Embiid never played with a guard who can score.
Yeah, they're both elite shot creators.
Yeah, so either way it goes, I mean, I don't know if Philly would be more. I mean, Philly's a little tough because of the fan base. Bless you. Philly's a little tough because of the fan base. The fan base will chew you up and spit you out very quickly. So, if Damian Lillard underperforms, he'll need psychiatric evaluation as well, just like Ben Simmons.
Yeah. JoJo is already a little bit of a wild guy to begin with, so he might need that.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready to kick it into our main course?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get to it.
All right. All-Star game. What do we think about the All-Star game? What do we think about what's good about the All-Star game in general? What we dislike? Just let's talk about it.
I think we kind of mentioned it a little bit in the last week's podcast that's out now on all platforms. Shameless plug. Thinking the same right now. So basically, what I like about the All-Star game is that it's kind of like a celebration of the players in a way. You know what I mean? You take the players, you give them an opportunity to really, just kind of kick back, but really showcase talents. The dunkers dunk, the shooters shoot. You know what I mean? And then the players in the All-Star game, which is like the coup de grace. You know what I mean? It may not be taken that seriously in the first couple quarters, but I like the way they reinvented the All-Star game where now like those last couple minutes is like competitive basketball, and you have like the greatest players in the world on the either who you never think will ever team up or on that team together, And then I like the way they have the draft now. That's really something fun to watch because now you're watching the great LeBron James, you know what I mean, put teams together, like legit from the ground up, 1 through 12. He's picking teams. One thing I don't like is the dunk contest. And throughout the years, as I've been a basketball fan, it's been one of my favorite things to watch is the dunk contest. I love the dunk contest. I'm always like, wow, what's they going to do next, And now it's just like, because it feels more like it's not about the dunk anymore. It's about who judges and who you know. And that's not really what it should be about. I mean, like we've watched Jordan, I mean, not us personally, but maybe if you go on YouTube, we watched Jordan get 50 after 50 after 50 jumping from the free throw line, That's extraordinary. We've seen Vince Carter put his whole armpit in the rim, do 360s off vert. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just easy dunks through the legs. You know what I mean? We've seen Gerald Green, one of the bountiest mans in the world, blew out a cupcake at the top of the backboard and then dunked the basketball. We've seen Nate Robinson jump over 7-footers.
Yeah.
We've seen the birth of Superman Part 2. Like, these are extraordinary moments, and now, like, what do we have? Because, I mean, Zach LaVine is great. Don't get me wrong. But Aaron Gordon was way more creative. That was the best dunk contest we've ever seen up until, I mean, like, in years when Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon went at it the first time. You know? And then he gets robbed in the following year. It's just like, the problem with the dunk contest is that you can't get any marquee names to perform because nobody wants to get robbed. The dunk contest has become a robbery now. I mean, think about this for a second. We all know who John Wall is, right? When was the last time he played an NBA game?
Well, I mean,
it's been years.
He could play for the Houston Rockets if they just want to develop young talent. Like, he could get minutes.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, when was the last time he played an NBA game? He was injured, and then he came back, then got injured again. This man participated in dunk contest, and guess what? He won.
I remember that.
That was not a fun dunk contest to watch. I was so confused the entire time. They had, like, two other guys on the court, and they're, like, throwing the ball off the backboard, and then he dunks it at the end, and he won. Guess what? On a reverse dunk. I can't reverse dunk, but that's not impressive. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I remember that.
It's not impressive. It's not. The guy Jeremy Evans, I think he played for Utah. He didn't win it, but like he wasn't impressive. Paul George was impressive. That whole like flight school type thing, that was pretty cool when he did the 360 with the light up shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot go and get a Paul George dunk contest anymore.
Yeah.
I want to see a healthy Zion at the dunk contest, a Ja Morant at the dunk contest, Donovan Mitchell won last year, right?
I don't remember now that I think about it.
I know Donovan Mitchell didn't participate. Who was the guy who won last year? Was it Donovan Mitchell? It was Donovan Mitchell. And he didn't even shake his hand. He beat Larry Nance or something like that one of the years. I think it was his rookie year, and then he didn't even shake the guy's hand. Like, he didn't shake his dad's hand or something like that. Like Larry Nance's dad, like Larry Nance Sr. didn't shake his hand after he beat Larry Nance Jr. in the dunk contest.
Wow. Didn't know that.
I'm like, I mean, that's cool. Donovan Mitchell is like, but think about it. Who have you known, big name-wise, who has participated in the dunk contest in recent years? Besides Aaron Gordon, he's not even that big of a name.
I mean, it's Zach LaVine.
But who are they going to get this year is what I'm saying. Nobody wants to participate. They have to, I feel like if you're going to screw these guys over, and these are top dunkers, like greatest dunkers, you know what I mean? Of their time period pretty much. Like, you have to entice them somehow.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go home, head down like Aaron Gordon 2 years in a row, and he should have won at least one trophy.
Yeah.
If not both.
Yeah.
Like, give them some money if they lose. Make it a consolation prize or something like that. If you're just going to screw people over. That's what my thoughts are. I do like the skills challenge, too. That's pretty cool. I do like that. Because Jokic won that 1 year. I was like, that's that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think the dunk challenge, I agree with you. There could be a higher level that we could see. That we don't really get to see. I think the 3-point challenge can be really fun and interesting. I honestly think it would be fun to see like a sudden death 3-point challenge. Like let them pick any spot that they want on the court and see how many they can hit in a row. With all the lights. Like, I would be curious. Like, we're just gonna let Steph in the corner. Like, it would be interesting to see like Steph shoots one, and let's say Klay Thompson is in a competition, he shoots next, and then let's say Joe Harris is in the competition, he shoots next. Like, they all rotate, and you miss and you're out. Like, I feel like that would be fun.
Yeah.
But I like the way it's set up. It's a really good thing. I think you were right about the All-Star game in general, though, with like the starters and the main event, and I like the fact that the last quarter actually means something, and they really try. So, I mean, you don't really need to watch the first 3 quarters; just watch the fourth quarter, and it's really fun. And I like the fact that now it's competitive because they fixed that problem, and I agree with you that the captains. And watching that on TNT is fun. Charles Barkley, Shaq. So there's a few things that are nice about the All-Star game. So are you ready to talk about like who our All-Star team is?
Yeah, I got one more thing though. I want to talk about the shooting challenge because you just made a good point for me. Is that one thing I do like about the 3-point shooting contest is that anybody could win.
Yes.
And so because remember Marco Bellinelli won?
Yeah. Joe Harris beat Steph Curry.
Right. The greatest shooters don't always win.
Yeah. I mean, they lose. I mean, still lose the great shooters, but you're right. Steph, the greatest shot creators may not be the greatest standstill shooters. You know what I mean? It's just like it's a unique thing. I completely agree with you, Chris.
So we're moving into the rosters, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. First things first. Something that I hate about the All-Star Game rosters is that we do not elect guys that are putting up amazing numbers on terrible teams. I don't care if your team is 0-52. If you're averaging 25, 10, and 6, you're going to make the team. Like, I don't care if my eye test says you're a good player. There's only one player that doesn't make the All-Star team on the East. That's like his eye test is not that good. He's just getting fluff stats. And that's Fred VanVleet. He's in a lot of people's All-Star team at the end, but I just don't think he is an All-Star as a player. I don't think he's an All-Star quality player. I just can't put All-Star next to his name, even though I think he's averaging 22 and something.
He definitely is.
But basically, the All-Star team, the starters, the guard is Trae Young for the East. The other guard is Zach LaVine. The 3 forwards are Giannis, Kevin Durant, and Embiid. What do you think about the starting 5 for the East, Chris?
Is that Trae Young, Zach LaVine?
Giannis, KD, Embiid.
You're missing somebody. Why does DeMar DeRozan should start? I'm sorry.
He's a forward. So you got to either take Giannis, who people want for MVP, KD, or Embiid out. And I honestly, I couldn't see myself taking out Embiid, and KD's leading the league in scoring.
Yeah, by point something points, because he's right. LeBron's literally right behind him.
Yeah, that's a fact. Do you still think you would have DeRozan in the starting lineup, knowing because he's not a 2 guard because they don't really play him at 2 guard, so he doesn't qualify for the guard position.
That's okay. I guess he can come off the bench, but I was thinking I would put DeRozan somewhere in the starting 5, but I don't know who I would take out because I was thinking DeRozan over Zach LaVine, but Zach LaVine's great too, so I wouldn't want to take him out either. So I guess DeRozan can come off the bench as long as he's in the All-Star game. That's all that he matters to me.
Yes,
he deserves that position like no other.
Yeah, he really does. All right, you ready for the bench?
Yeah, what's up?
The 2 guards off the bench, James Harden. I mean, he's like at 22 and 7 or something like that. He might be at 23 already. Bradley Beal's the other 2 guard. The forwards are Jason Tatum, DeMar DeRozan, and Jaylen Brown. And the 2 guys off the bench, the last 2 people to make it in, is Jimmy Butler and Lamello Ball. Now, the argument for Lamello Ball is he does not average as many points per game as Fred VanVleet. No. Is he, does he have more assists? Yes. Does he have more rebounds? Yes. But Lamello Ball's impact on the game of basketball is so much more than his stats that I really don't think they're comparable. I think my eye test tells me Lamello Ball is a better point guard right now than Fred VanVleet on every team in basketball. So we have LaMelo Ball here. So what are you thinking about those 12 guys? You think anybody snubbed? Tyler Hero, Fred VanVleet, Darius Garland, Jared Allen. There's some guys that didn't make it. Bam.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Fred VanVleet maybe takes LaMelo's spot only because, I understand what you mean as far as impact, but I don't think that that's how they're selected. Technically. So I wouldn't put that as a criteria, even though I completely agree with you. Like, the impact of LaMelo Ball is phenomenal. We've seen him come into the league and really start the Charlotte Hornets on their way to becoming a playoff contender. You might pick the playoffs this year. I think they are. And then you're going to build this team more up. As long as you keep these guys together and don't just sell out on the dream, this team will grow together and become a championship contender as well. So I completely agree with you on that. But as far as maybe what the criteria is, I would put Fran VanVleet in, because I mean, like I said, he's the better scorer right now at this point. In the point in the NBA, in the point in the season right now, he's a better scorer. He's leading his team right now, and I can't go off impact. I can't. That I don't think that's a criteria.
Okay. So Chris' only dispute is Fred VanVleet at the end.
I would put him, or I don't think anybody else I could really think of, or Darius Garland. I mean, I like Darius. We need it. Look, it's Cleveland, and Darius Garland had to fit in somewhere. Please, he's a Cavalier. How you not gonna have a Cleveland Cavalier at the All-Star game in Cleveland?
Sorry, I couldn't get him on.
Darius Garland or Fred VanVleet, one or the other.
I would rather have Darius Garland.
Darius Garland. I mean, he's not averaging much points, but just off being respectable to the Cleveland Cavaliers. You can't use our stadium, the Q, use our city, and none of us make the All-Star game.
I mean,
get out of here.
I guess LeBron is like a honorary Cleveland Cavalier, so he's gonna make it.
That man wears purple and gold.
But in his heart, he will always be a Cleveland god.
Logo's purple and gold. I just noticed that. We gotta stop using Laker colors. It's gonna get sued.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not. Don't worry about it. Colors. People use the same colors as NBA teams all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I really think that this is a fair way of choosing the All-Star game. Like, I don't care who the 1 seed is in the East, and should they have 2 All-Stars? Like, yes, do they? It's the Chicago Bulls. Yes, they do. But the Warriors are going to be the 1 seed in the West. Do I have to force Draymond Green into the playoffs, to the All-Star game when he's averaging less than 10 points, or Andrew Wiggins, who's averaging less than 19? Like, I don't want to force things if it's not there. Trae Young's team is terrible record-wise. I don't care. He needs to be starting. He's the best guard in the East, period. You compare him to anybody. So I don't believe in that formula of, are they on a winning team and then they move down a few spots because they're not. I just think it's stupid. So we're not. I think that's like the right way to view it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, like, because a lot of people miss out.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people missed out on the All-Star game, and they deserve, like, think about this for a second. I think it was several years in a row where Damien Lillard felt he got snubbed. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, why am I not making? But he was like, he had the most points. He was leading his team. Clearly, he was. Okay, so there's only one MVP in the league, correct? But there are several players who are MVPs of their own team.
That's a fact.
Damien Lillard was one of those guys before he got hurt. You know what I mean? Before the season started, before Father Time started to catch up a little bit, you start to lose a little bit of a little bit of pep in your step. He's one of those guys that he continuously be snubbed every year. He's like, why am I not making this team? Why am I not making this team? Why am I not making this team? Last year he made the team, and he showed up and showed out. Yeah. So I truly believe that when it comes to the All-Star game, it becomes popularity. Yeah. And when it comes to the All-Star weekend, it becomes popularity so much to the point that a lot of guys miss out.
Yes.
It should be the best player available on every team.
Yes. I couldn't agree with you more, Chris. Yeah. Like Trae Young missed out on it last year before they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, and just another example of them just not understanding basketball. So it is what it is. Are you ready for the West? Chris? Well, in the West, we have basically at the guard positions, we have Steph Curry. He's a phenomenal guard. He is the leader in the clubhouse, the best guard in the West. He's the best guard in the NBA, let's be honest here. And then we have Luka Doncic, who is world-class amazing. And, he is definitely deserving of that second guard spot. And then a guy who's carrying his team sneaks in as the last forward spot on the starting lineup, and that is Paul George. He deserves to be in this All-Star game starting. He is carrying his team. He's carrying the Lakers. He needs to be an All-Star starter. We obviously have LeBron. I mean, this guy legitimately might win MVP this year. He really deserves that spot. Nikola Jokic is ridiculously amazing. And then the other two guards off the bench is Donovan Mitchell and John Morant. I mean, those guys could be like starters in the East or be in competition for the starters in the East, but they just get stuck behind Steph and Luka. Our other forwards are Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, and Brandon Ingram. I mean, those guys are amazing. They deserve this spot. Karl Anthony Towns, if he doesn't make the All-Star team, then I'm literally going to riot the world because he's so deserving of it. It's ridiculous how special he is. So that's definitely he. And, the Timberwolves are respectable now. So that's really important for some people. And Brandon Ingram's carrying the Pelicans, so I don't care. And the last two in the bench were Damien Lillard and Devin Booker. And basically, obviously, Dame's hurt, so we got to find a spot. So it's either, off the top of my head, I'm thinking either Anthony Edwards, who's averaging like 22.5, I want to say, or Kristaps Porzingis, who's averaging 20 and like 6, and obviously is a center. I would probably go Kristaps. I feel like he is so underrated this year. So I would probably
it's been a All-Star game too.
Yeah. So I think KP would be my All-Star, but it's close because they're both deserving. They're both All-Star level players. What do you think? Who do you have?
You had John Morant in there, correct?
Oh my goodness, yes. I'm not ludicrous and stupid.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too many other players you can give that spot to, really.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these teams have 1 through 12 locked up, but like their, second best player might be a 6-man.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, unless you want to throw Klay in there,
Too
just
soon.
for the hell of it.
Too soon.
Huh?
Too soon. He's only played like 3 games.
Yeah.
I mean, some people will have the discussion for Chris Paul. Can you tell me why Chris Paul, who's averaging less than 14 points per game?
I like Chris Paul. You said why not Chris Paul, though?
Yeah, like why is he – why – well, actually, would you have him in this spot?
I mean, if we're basing off points, no, because we can't go off impact. But I think that with how Chris Paul, the Phoenix Suns aren't the team that they are right now, so we have to go with the best player available, which will be Devin Booker. So I mean, Chris Paul can make it off popularity, but I mean, he is playing really great right now. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing Chris Paul in an All-Star game. I wouldn't mind seeing Chris Paul win a championship, honestly. There are things that I want to see. I mean, Chris Paul hasn't been in an All-Star game in a minute.
Yeah.
Never won a championship. Got close last year.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would definitely go with Kristaps Porzingis. I think he's the right fit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Who do you? So, what do you think about the?
Paul George is hurt too. I'm sorry. Paul George is hurt too.
Oh, well, then I guess
Paul
they
George
both
is
get
hurt.
in. Anthony Edwards and Kristaps. Is Anthony Davis
Paul
hurt?
George. Is Anthony Davis hurt?
If the Anthony Davis is hurt too, Chris Paul can be grandfathered in.
Yeah, Anthony Davis is still injured. You didn't know that?
I didn't know how long he would be. But if he is by still the All-Star game, then yeah, the Kristaps, Anthony Edwards, and Chris Paul make it in.
I would argue that Anthony Davis is not deserved to be in the All-Star game.
What?
Not this year.
His stats are still impressive. It's like 23, 8, and he's still great for a forward. And
I would not.
Oh, wow. I would disagree with you. I just think he's underperforming from like what we may expect from Anthony Davis, but his like second tier level play is still a bench all-star in my opinion.
Yeah, he's supposed to be top 5. He's not playing like it. So yeah. I couldn't give it to him because I would go with the best available and he wouldn't be the best available in my eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could see that. All right, you ready to kick it to the so what do you want to talk about next? I have rookie and sophomore lineups. I have 3-point contest and slam dunk.
Let's go slam dunk. I kind of like that.
Okay. We have 5 guys chosen here. You ready?
Yeah.
Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon.
You think Zach LaVine would do it again?
Well, we can force them to do whatever we want.
Right, yeah. Just hypothetical.
Yeah. Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Ja Morant. Jalen Green.
Yeah.
And Kai Jones.
Okay. I like that list.
So
can we force Zion to get healthy and then put him in
hit that heal button like it's a video game. Get healthy faster. Listen to Charles Barkley. Eat less.
Lose weight.
When Charles Barkley has to tell you to lose weight, you stoop pretty low as a human being.
That's very true.
I honestly think that this slam dunk game would be like the greatest in the past decade because you would have Zach LaVine versus Aaron Gordon. Everybody wants to see that. It's must-see TV. Then you could see Ja Morant, who makes time stop in midair. And you can see Jalen Green, who makes time stop in midair. And many people may not know Kai Jones, but, we're the basketball addicts and we did draft stuff. And this guy is like 6'11" and levitates. So he would do some crazy stuff. So what do you think about, like, as a slam dunk lover, what would you think about this? Like, how excited would you be?
I'll be very excited. You have Ja Morant in there. Mm-hmm. He literally flies through the air.
Yeah.
If we can heal Zion Williamson and get him to go in,
yeah,
that's must-see TV. He already won, his high school dunk contest, doing amazing things. That's what got him really famous and got people looking at him was because of how he was dunking in high school. So, this guy is huge and he's athletic.
Yes. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more.
I would love to see a dunk contest. And of course, everybody wants to see Aaron Gordon versus Zach LaVine.
Mm-hmm. Must-see TV.
That's a rematch of the century.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, the NBA. I would love it. The NBA has the athletes to put out a great slam dunk because just people are saying no for whatever reason, man. Don't know.
No, because they don't want to get screwed over. Nobody wants to get screwed.
Yeah. That's true.
But see what happened to Aaron Gordon, they're not okay with it. I'm not okay with it.
If you're okay, I'm okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay.
Hey.
Oh, my goodness.
He'll never perform again. He should have 2 trophies. And I kind of agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree. Are you ready? So what do you want to talk about now? 3-point roster or the rookie versus sophomores?
Let's go with the 3-point. I like that.
All right. 3-point contest. People are not usually intrigued to watch a 3-point contest. So I am going to create drama where there is not drama. How do we do that? First things first, Steph-less. Steph Curry. And then we're going to have Joe Harris, the person who beat him. All right. I feel like people want to see Steph versus his brother, Steph. Stephen versus Steph. Big bro versus little bro.
Oh, Seth.
Yes, Seth versus Steph. Both Currys. And Joe Harris, the nemesis.
Yeah.
All right, so now we want to add more drama. Let's put in Klay Thompson. I want to know who shoots better, Klay or Steph Curry. And
they already did it, didn't they?
Oh, okay.
Klay won.
Okay, well, I have another layer of drama. You ready for this? Kevin Durant.
Oh, Kevin Durant in the three-point contest?
You get to see between Klay, Steph, his brother, and Kevin Durant, and the person that beat Steph, who's the best three-point shooter, all in the three-point shooting contest.
It's crazy.
What do you think about that?
I like that. I think that Klay might win, but I also want to believe that KD could possibly win.
It would be amazing. It would be so much fun. It would be crazy.
Did Klay beat Steph though? I think they were in the same contest, and I think Klay beat Steph.
I think you might be right. Yeah, I think you might be right. I mean, Klay's a great
again. Klay's the most consistent shooter ever.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, so that's how we would add intrigue to something that sometimes people really don't want to watch. We're making it mostly TV. You got to act like this is reality TV. Just people come watch for the drama. Like, just make drama happen. You know what I mean? All right, you ready to hear the rookie versus sophomore team?
Yeah, well, if we can get LeBron James to get in the dunk contest.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I just assumed he'd never do it. Yeah, especially this old.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to hear this rookie roster?
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right. Guards, Cade Cunningham and Jalen Green. The forwards are Franz Wagner, Scotty Barnes, and Evan Mobley. Those are the starters. What do you think about that?
I like that. I like that a lot. That's good.
Okay, so this is the last 7 on the bench. Jalen Suggs, Chris Duarte, Alperen Sengun, Kessler Edwards, Jonathan Kuminga, who may not have the stats to make this game, but the eye test jumps off of, oh my goodness, he's insane. Did you watch him versus the Chicago Bulls? Did you see those highlights?
Yeah.
He looked like what? He was insane. He lost his mind. He dropped like 25 against the Bulls when the Warriors were getting beat by the Bulls, like getting blown out. And the last 2 guys on the bench, Josh Giddey and Davion Mitchell. I feel like this is the best 12 right now in the rookies. Just try to fit them all on the roster. And the sophomore.
Rookie versus sophomore games too? I thought it was like Rising Stars.
Oh, I thought they just somehow did rookie versus sophomores.
Oh, I didn't know if they still did it or not. Okay.
Well, if they don't, well then we'll just change it.
Yeah.
The sophomore roster was Lamello Ball, Anthony Edwards, Isaac Okoro, Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey, Tyrese Halliburton, Tyrese Maxey, Obi Toppin, Patrick Williams, Danny Adavia, Cole Anthony, and Desmond Bain.
Where's Darius Garland?
I don't think he's not a sophomore.
He's 3 years in the NBA already?
Yeah.
I think he got drafted last year. I mean, not last year, 2 years ago.
He was not drafted.
He was drafted 2 years ago? You sure?
Almost 100% certain.
It was like it might be his 3rd year.
You're talking Isaac Okoro was drafted that year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they drafted Evan Mobley this year, Isaac Okoro the year before that, and then it was Darius Garland. The year before that was Colin Sexton. Remember when Colin Sexton got drafted, and he said, LeBron, you should stay, or something along those lines. Could you imagine, like, what are you saying, bro? Nobody expected you to be anything or knew you were going to be anything. Well, the basketball addicts would have known, but we weren't doing draft prospects, draft talk back then.
Yeah. Honestly, I like Colin Sexton. You know what I mean? I like his mentality.
Yeah, that's true. He's a competitor.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else you want to talk about with the All-Star game?
Not really. I just wish I could go. That'd be pretty cool if I could go. But those tickets are like $1,200 for nosebleeds.
So expensive.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Crazy.
I don't want to be here when that happens anyway, because Cleveland's gonna be shitty.
Yes. Yeah. That's a fact.
Everything's gonna be blocked off. You ain't gonna be able to go nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's gonna be rough.
All them in the clubs and bars gonna be always packed.
Yep.
You know, I don't go clubbing and barring, but still.
Mm-hmm. It's a fact. That really will be. Yeah. Well, I think this is like a natural ending point for the podcast today. Do you think so too?
Yeah. So, a couple quick things, guys. Just wanted to say thank you so much for listening. Please give us a thumbs up or a star, or wherever you may find us. Just give us some kind of good review. You know what I mean? Even if you just tell us something.
Yeah.
Right. Follow us on all our social medias, which you'll be able to find. Look out for content there. You know, we'll be back again next week with more exciting, news and notes and more exciting content for you. And my name is Chris Muhammad.
I'm Jason Collins.
And we are the Basketball Addicts. Peace.
Ouch.
The recording has stopped.
That